You might be wondering why I'm filming in my car. And we've already started fixing the hair, for fuck's sake. I feel like someone up there is staring at me. There's lots of people in their car around here. Clearly, since I'm in a parking lot. Yep. I felt my teeth are bleeding.
Look out of your window.
Oh my god, it is. You know you can just taste blood? Excellent. My dad just got home from overseas and I didn't want to wake him because he's like in the middle of a hectic nap, so I thought I'd just leave the house so I can film this. I have a really good setup right now. My laptop is sitting on an esky on 2 jackets. I'm pretty professional. Yeah, it's getting hot in this car. Could turn the aircon on. Turn the aircon on. Could tone it on. The lighting is slowly getting darker and darker. It's literally 3:20 and I can like feel the sun going down. I hate that about autumn and winter. By 4 o'clock it's like, should I go to bed? Like, it's fucking night time. This guy thinks I'm filming him. I ain't. There he is. Run. Fuck, why am I such a dick? Focus. I feel like in this video I just really want to talk about school and my experience in high school. I graduated like 3 years ago in 2011. I was a really sad, angry teenager. I made it very clear that I hated all boys. Anyone close to me will know that I just despised males. The school I was at was, I'm gonna say primarily female, just because it was an all-girls school at one point. Boys were introduced in my year, but in year 11 I moved to a primarily boy-dominant school. I was pretty dependent on people when I moved, you know, I was still closeted. I didn't feel like it was possible to get out of the friendship group that I moved with. I didn't feel like I was a whole enough person on my own to kind of branch off into new things. I really needed that security that like a group of friends gave me. A lot of my better friends kind of stayed at my old school. I was only really close to a couple of the girls that I moved with. I was still pretty shy and reserved. I was just feeling all these feelings that I thought would make me an outsider if anyone knew about them, so I kind of did everything to prevent that from happening. The group of girls I sat with were good people, they were nice friends, and I'm still close to a couple of them, but to this day I've never felt more lonely sitting in that group. It was hard because I really couldn't get my head around these girls wanting to talk to all these boys. It really didn't kick into me that like if roles were reversed I would be doing the complete same thing. Like imagine if I was the majority in that situation. Moving to a school where most of the girls are lesbians. It would be like a whole new pool of lesbians. Like of course I'm gonna love it and I'm gonna get along with more people and I'm gonna branch out and talk to everyone. And I'm gonna be more myself. And like I would flirt with people as well. Like I really punished these girls for seeing something in these boys that I clearly didn't. I realised that I couldn't hold it against these people for having an amazing high school experience, even if I wasn't having the same time. I'm so mad at myself for just putting them in a position where I felt like they didn't deserve happiness when I didn't have happiness at the time. Like if I was sad, everyone else should be sad too. I would walk into school every morning with such armour on my back, protecting myself from things that weren't really there. I was always waiting for bad things to happen. It started to become me developing this huge argument, this huge rebuttal for a fight that I wasn't even in. School is so hard because you think all your personal changes are going to be documented. Like I didn't want to change my hair or do my makeup a different way. I'm not saying the last 2 years of high school were entirely shit, like I met some amazing people and I had some good time. Graduating was the best feeling. I just sat at the table with my family and got absolutely smashed. I was just so happy that school was over. I bitched a lot in high school. mainly just because I was sad and I thought if I talk about everyone and make their lives seem worse than my own, then maybe I'll forget about my shit. After school, all this bitching just got to my head and I realised how fucking stupid it was. High school really taught me to not give a fuck. I followed that quote for all the wrong reasons back then, but now I just follow it for all its sincerity. I've become so much more positive since I've left, and more so in the last 6 months. Sometimes if someone says something rude or negative, I'll try to understand, or I'll try to say like, what about this though? Or why don't you think this instead? And they'll say, oh, but that's just my opinion, like I'm allowed to have an opinion. You know, think however you want, act however you want, do whatever you want. I'm just saying that my mind has just changed. I just learned that we can put things under a microscope and study them and detect other things and let these things linger. What is the point? Some things are just pointless to discuss in my eyes. It becomes really draining, not only just to say, but to hear. If I ever think bad about someone or something, I just think, is it necessary? What's going to come from me thinking about this or saying something about this? People might say, oh, well, you're not being honest. I'm just being honest and saying exactly how I feel. Like life's too short for lies and all this shit. I'm just trying to live my life in a way that helps me grow stronger. I'm not here to like tear anyone down or put anyone down when there's no point to. And oh my god, the other day I was on Facebook and I saw this huge fucking Facebook fight. I literally haven't seen a Facebook fight since I was about 14. I was just gobsmacked because I haven't seen people talk like that for so long. It was paragraphs and paragraphs of like immature and horrible things. Like, how do you have the time or the patience to write such huge negative comments? I could barely read that without feeling so mad at the world. I feel like there are always going to be those people who thrive off of drama and bitching. And maybe I was one of them once upon a time, you know? You get sucked into it. When everyone's doing it, it might be hard not to join in. Especially when you're young, you're so impressionable and a lot of people's opinions will come together to make you form your own. And when everyone around you is bitching, it's kind of hard to see the positive. I guess this is kind of like a letter to my younger self. If I could go back in time and give myself a bit of advice, it would just be that the world is not against you. These people are not against you. We're all in this together. We're all fighting the exact same battle. You know, life is shitty enough without people talking smack. Like, don't be angry at these people for living a life that's not yours. Just try to be happy with what you have. Another thing I would tell myself is to not hold grudges. It's something I did for way too long. And on stupid things as well, like the smallest arguments, I would just hold so close to my heart. And if you do hold grudges, just let go of the past. The past literally does not exist. The only things that exist are our memories. And if you hold grudges, they will literally grow like tumours on your brain, on your body. They'll affect you physically, mentally. Just be free, be zen. If you don't like the people in your life, cut out the people in your life. Cut out the negative people. Before I left school, I didn't think there was an escape for me. Also, just to really think about things before you talk about them. Make sure what comes out of your mouth is something that you really want to say. And just to sum up, just stop being a mole, Lucy. Stop being a negative mole. Do you think I can drive home with you sitting there? Let's give it a go. Shitty song. Let's put our own music on.